Hello, I am back again to watch another runway video, this time Miu Miu Fall Winter 1997.
Because I think of you in a way you
I just saw a few of the looks online, someone reposted it on their Substack, and I was like, that is going to be the next runway that I watch. Per usual, I'm not trying to necessarily teach you anything while watching this. We are just watching this together for fun because I feel like it can be kind of boring to look at it alone. Sorry. And that's coming from someone who has studied fashion. And I'm always taking inspo of like what I like and dislike for my own implementation in my personal style. That's where most of my comments are coming from. So the couple of looks I saw were definitely fall toned. Okay, super cute. Every time I watch these runway shows, I just am like, I should wear heels in my everyday life. I love a mini skirt and I love a turtleneck. I love them together. I love a slit in a mini skirt. That's super duper duper cute. Love the windblown hair. It's so clear where that inspiration comes from to have the hair looking like that. The scarf with the sequins on the end is like adorable. And yeah, I could get away in LA wearing this. I like the simplicity of a coat, just, basically that's the outfit. That's super cute. I think I lean towards minimalism. Like, I love a tank top and a skirt. The fact that it has a scarf is sort of silly, but it works. I like that it's pajama-esque, lingerie-esque. I'm always drawn to that sort of thing. And despite the outfits being so simple, like, there's a large amount of textures being intermixed here. Of course, I'm not looking at it close up, so I can't say exactly, but you have whatever, maybe wool that skirt is made out of, but it's very lightweight, and then a heavier wool, I assume, of the coat, and then the knit of the sweater. It's always fun to play with the texture on the shoes. They don't always need to be leather. Like this, having sequins is like really cool. Pop of color, pop of texture. I also, even if it's a little colder, as long as it's reasonable, don't do this in Minnesota, but having my legs showing in the winter, like, it's much more important. I realize that I keep my arms warm. My legs somehow keep warmer. To wear this with a heavy sweater and a scarf is not that unreasonable for where I've always lived in my life. I really like the look of the sheerish, I don't know, it could be like a lightweight merino knit. I feel like that's often the materials I see when I see a shirt with that sort of texture. It's always so comfortable. I love shirts like that. Okay, a little more playful here. Not necessarily something I would wear in my own personal style, but I appreciate it on the runway. I love a skinny jean with a ballet flat. It's one of my favorite little silhouettes. Like, this outfit I would wear all the time. Having a little bit more volume on the top with the jacket is really cute to me. It's very cutesy. It's very like akin to like Twee 2012 in my eyes. Or like, yeah, Alexa Chung, which like same thing. I am not one for button-ups necessarily. I have a few in my closet that only ever get worn when I go to the beach. Maybe one day. You never know. Style changes all the time. So, not to mention the whole point of this is to improve upon my style while watching it with you guys. I do really like the pop of red on the button-ups though. As a detail, it looks so modern. It's always shocking to me to be like, oh yeah, this was nearly 20 years ago. 30 years ago. Ooh, I really like the look of this, basically a tunic dress paired over the really loose pants that have really good movement, combined with the sheerness, the lightweight with like what could be a wool. I'm liking the sort of dull toned down color palette of this. Oh, I really like the pleats under that sheer dress. Combined with like the heavy eye makeup on some of the girls. It's got a very sort of easy vibe that I always like. The things that you're wearing make such an impact that you don't need to wear a whole bunch, or you don't need to wear so much makeup because the makeup you're wearing is a huge eyeliner or a bright color or a dark eye. I always love a periwinkle. But as always, whenever I mention a color, please let me know if you see it as a different color. I feel like I often call purples pinks. And then when someone says it's purple, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's a blue to me, that periwinkle, but is that a purple to you? I don't know. Not so much into the zip-ups. It's like a little bit too pared down for me. I would rather the pullover 3/4 zip mixed with the wool skirt. I mean, it's very cute. The texture of the knit. But currently, I think the star of the show might be these sheer tunics on top of a very nice flowy pant. It's not flowy like bohemian, it's just like it has a good movement to it. And I always like something sheer, but of course this becomes difficult to implement because it's pretty cool to be topless and wear a sheer top, but I don't know who's really doing that. I think I would like to buy some more sheer, this texture of material things to layer over pants, over skirts. Like, it just opens up some opportunities. I've never been one to try a skirt over pants, but I like a tunic even more over pants because that's like a more, it's been seen before and it's used in different cultures than just like the US. So it's a more regular pairing, I guess. Not as intimidating to try for me. I'm really liking how dull a lot of the color palette is, and then the mix of materials like the super sheer combined with a more heavy wool coat, as well as the implementation of sequins in this, because it adds a lot of fun and whimsy to an otherwise pretty dreary look. Here's our first like bright color that we've seen. It's funny because I can see the way that these dresses like trickled down from this runway show in 1997 to being the type of thing that like children's clothing brands were making in like probably 2007, 2008, because I know because I wore them and people I knew wore them. But of course, Miu Miu is inherently childish. That's the whole point. It's not childish in the sense of child, but it's little sister to Prada. I love this purple fuchsia color. I used to have my walls painted that color in 6th grade. So I was sick of it for a moment, but I'm back with it. Okay, I really like this look. I'm really liking a v-neck. I like how sensual it is, but I love a knit skirt. I always think those are really cool. I think I like clothes that look like pajamas, but there's some sensuality there. I literally think I'm drawn to that. And you know, for being an Italian fashion house, I can't imagine anyone in Italy ever wearing this. This feels so LA to me. Oh, I really like this look. It's very childish, I would say. I mean, I like that green dress as well, but having the square neck with the longer sleeves, that's nice. Let me know if you guys feel silly when you put on a long coat and you're wearing a skirt and then you look like you're naked under the coat, because I do that every once in a while and then I feel silly and I take it off. Ooh, this coat is really good. I like that. I love when a collar looks like that. And I like how long it is. Surprisingly, also difficult to find coats at a nice length. They always reach my knees, and I'm not even that tall. This is also good in a different colorway. I really like that. I don't get the chance to wear huge coats super often in LA. Oh, so cute. I feel like this must be like a viral look considering there's polka dots. That's really cute. And I'm sure you could find on Depop polka dot, peacoat, short versions that mimic that. I really like the past few looks. And having the big sequins feels so simplistic, but adds like a necessary touch of whimsy when otherwise it's kind of a drab look. But I'm also often drawn to drab things, I've realized. But you do have to be careful, otherwise you suddenly look like too drab, you know? Oh, Sierra O'Day has this coat. Yeah, okay, that's probably why the other one looked familiar. I hate when people call polka dots trendy or like plaid trendy. Plaid is my favorite type of pattern for sure. And it's like, that's just a classic print. That's always going to be in. I don't understand. Same with leopard for me. Like, it's always in. These are so cute. I feel like I could really easily implement this sort of vibe into my style, and it really, like I've said multiple times, it just like works in LA. There's something very LA about it. And I love a sequin or a bead at nighttime. It like recalls to me an old lady in the 30s. It's so traditional and it's cool for a reason because all of the light bounces off the sequins. And something that's really important to me is light bouncing off of your materials, whether it's silk and something that just has like a luster to it or a sequin. I love it. That's really cute with the v-neck and the 3/4-ish sleeves. This is nice too, but you know me, I love this sleeve length. Cute color alert, one of my favorite colors right now alert. It was also in the Marc Jacob 1998 show, or like something quite similar, maybe a little bit more cool tone. This is more of a raspberry. Super cool slip dress, hello! This one starts to veer on like Pretty Little Liars styling, which is cool in its own right, but just not something I'd wear. But I'm boring a little bit. Oh my god, these looks kind of make me happy to see. It reminds me of like how I would dress to school dances in 2013 in middle school. Like a sort of crop tank top and a high-waisted, basically like bodycon skirt. It's fun to see it on the runway. Of course, she is ahead of her time and I was wearing Rue 14. What was it called? Rue 21? The great thing about a lot of sequined items is that you can get them for so cheap because that's such like a classic trendy throwaway piece that exists, and it doesn't need to necessarily be high quality because it's plastic sequins typically. That's cool. I like the contrasting trim on the top. Interesting that was the last look to go out. The fact that it wasn't the most interesting or colorful or full of patterns was interesting. But it was my favorite, I would say. I liked the darker colors. Yeah, this is a really, really cool collection. It's funny how like familiar it is despite I've never watched it, because so many of these looks and pieces were translated into fast fashion as it trickled down to like Forever 21 a decade later, obviously. Hey, Mucha. Of course, Sierra O'Day is a fan of that, and I definitely have seen that coat before, and it is crazy cool. And she's also super cool for wearing it in LA because she also lives in LA. Overall, really liked that collection as well. I don't know if I'm going to say that about every collection I see, but I'm definitely watching the ones that I'm drawn to for a reason, you know? So there is, of course, a greater chance that I will like it. I really liked the color palette. I like those sort of dull, dark colors. And I really liked the sheerness of a lot of things. I liked the tunics and the sequins. I think the sequins do something special in this collection compared to how drab some of the colors were. It just overall, once again, looks super easy breezy, which is always something I look out for because I find that that's just how I like to dress. I will be adding this collection to my dream wish lists, and I will be adding some of these search terms like sequin belt, sequin shoes, polka dot peacoat, sheer sort of like merino knit v-neck tank top, mini skirts with a slit. All of those could be easily findable online to sort of replicate this vibe. Most people could probably wear this in the summer, and us LA people can wear this in the fall and winter. Anyways, thank you for watching. Once again, please recommend me a collection if you think there's one I should watch. So far I've done Marc Jacobs and Miu Miu. Please subscribe if you enjoy watching runway shows with someone else instead of having to do it on your own, because I know it can be boring on your own. Thanks for watching. Bye!